Hello dear friends, Patrick here for Vortex Rising. In our Abraham-Hicks segment for today, we share an audio recording where they talk about how to recognize when the right time is to act upon something new in your life. And they suggest to follow that which thrills you. Hope you guys enjoy.
It has been 30 years since I was in your presence. I was in my 20s, and thanks to you and your advice and June Burke's and Julian's, it changed my life.
Yeah. Well, you just came into alignment more and more with who you are.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
The credit is all yours, and we're happy that we've been playing.
It has been amazing.
Yeah.
We discussed earth changes at that time. We were discussing, this was back in the 90s.
Oh, really? No one's seen any of those, are you?
And as we discussed them, we looked at how we could, as a society, as a world, be able to communicate more efficiently and more effectively. As a result
About
of
what?
that, about in general how the world was changing and closing in. And just at that moment, the internet started. And I became the first guy to put entertainment and celebrities on the internet worldwide. And we were able to create something that was able to help people go into alignment and balance in many different ways, as opposed to just being personal.
Yeah.
And in the entertainment industry of one-to-many, this whole new world of experience lets people communicate one-to-one and to receive and give information.
Which is an advantage when they're in alignment and a disadvantage when they're not.
So once this happened, I did it. We had a terrific experience, Britney Spears and all those guys, and then I retired at 40 to Florida. So I've been having fun looking for what is that next goal, what is that next project, and it's been a little tricky to find something that I feel as strongly about.
The nice thing is this vehicle feels pretty good, and then you see that one, and then you get in that one, and off you go, and then you see that one, and then you get off. But when you just get out, when you stopped doing that, why did you stop?
I had done the time, and I
Done the
decided
time,
I did the time.
Whoa.
Well, I felt
Whoa.
that
Was it incarceration?
I felt that I had done what I wanted to do with that project.
That isn't what you meant. You meant I'd done the time,
I did the time,
and I just got out.
and I wanted to get out, but it's time to get in.
We are not asking you to feel any regret ever about not having something that you were called to. What we do want to impart to you is that in what you're living always, you are launching rockets of desire, but you got out of your awareness of what you were done with rather than out of your awareness of where you were going. But it doesn't matter, because whether you know it or not, where you're going is already queued up for you in this vortex. Even though there was a little lag time, doesn't matter, it's still there. So from where you now stand, what do you now want?
That was it, was to find, and so I looked to your thinking, to your teaching, and now I'm looking at, we looked at communications in the 90s, now I'm looking at energy, and so now I've become thrilled with the concept of a biofuel candle project. This is something that would be worldwide, that's clean and green light, literally, to encourage people to have more environmental awareness.
The thing that we want to call your attention to, and it will seem like a subtle distinction, but it's huge. It's a huge, important distinction, which is why you're here and why you light it up and why we're having this conversation. So far in your vibration, you're in the solving mode rather than the being called by something powerful mode. And there's a really big difference. This is what we would do. Step back into a more general place. So we're going to speak from your perspective. I've had a really nice experience, and I like understanding how the universe works. And I understand the law of attraction, and I understand my relationship in this universe. And I understand that through life I've launched rockets of desires, and I understand that there is a vibrational reality that's calling me. And I know that it's full of ideas and paths of lesser and lesser resistance to help me fulfill dominant intentions. I know who I am and what I want. What I want is to uplift and to be of value and to have a really good time while I'm doing it. And with that powerful, somewhat general, but powerful intention, I'm not really too focused on the how and the where and the when and the who, or even the details of the what. I'm focused upon the whole of who I am and what my potential is, and I'm trusting, there's that word, I'm believing, I'm wanting to know that this path that I'm feeling an impulse toward is a path that will lead me, that'll be a vehicle that will satisfy me for a significant period of time. And from what we felt from you so far, you don't have much of a vehicle going here yet, because your reason for wanting to do it is more dominant than knowing who you are and what you are wanting. Does that make sense to you?
Getting part of it.
So we wouldn't jump in too hard too fast about that. Instead, we would say things like, my life has certainly put things in the vortex, and my inner being certainly knows what they are, and now I'm standing by in the best state of allowing that I can be, waiting for impulses that just really rock my world, impulses that I feel absolute undeniable passion about. We're out of time for this segment, but would you say, remembering what you remember about what you were doing before and remembering how you felt about it, would you say that your passion for this project now is with the same fervor and enthusiasm that you felt before? Can you remember back that far?
Yes, and it was 25 years ago. This is the first thrill of that magnitude.
It thrills you with that magnitude? Then you can trust that and don't pay any attention to anything else we just said. Because if that is the case, then you've got your vehicle. We just weren't feeling it.
It's the vision of it, but this is why I wanted
We just want to make sure that you are not just relying on words. We just want to make sure that the thrill really is there and that the words are following that thrill.
That's why I wanted to try to figure out, how is that? What is the way to determine if that's the right path? Does it feel like it's the right direction? It does to me.
Well, if it did, you wouldn't have asked the question.
Right.
It wouldn't have been a question. It would have been a declarative statement.
Okay.
And so the fact that there's a question, and remember, we've been talking about this all day. The problem and the solution are different vibrational frequencies. And if it's still a question, and that's what we're feeling here, there's still enough question in the vibration that it's too soon to act.
And what do you do during that period?
Everything that's fun. Everything that makes your heart sing. Everything that's high flying. Everything that feels good. Everything that you can daydream. Those kinds of things.
I'm all for that, and I've been doing that in Florida, but I do feel like it's time to move a project forward and to be able to move it, and I'm the leader and the creator of what it is that I'm going to do next.
Well, we're not saying don't, we're just saying don't. We're not saying don't move forward, we're saying get your ducks in a row first. And by your ducks in a row, we mean your vibrational ducks in a row. And we're not saying you don't have some ducks in a row, you just don't have all the ducks in a row. You've got some doubt ducks.
What's a good way to shoot a doubt duck?
You don't shoot a doubt duck. You just fly with the ducks that don't doubt.
Aha. Okay.
You know too much. You know too much about government. You know too much about technology. You know too much about the oil industry. You know too much. So you got to forget what you know by knowing that you're playing in a different game, that this is a vibrational game, and it doesn't matter what anybody thinks about anything. And little by little, you'll just peel those layers off the onion by creating something else. That doubt will dissipate.
Would you say, from seeing this from us 30 years ago, do you see a change in me from that, from the things that we've learned and the onion and the things that have happened?
Absolutely. Do you see a change in us?
I do.
Logical, isn't it? Constant evolution.
It's awesome.
This is a good time for a segment of refreshment.